It's with great sadness tonight that we must share a terrible loss in our newsroom family.
Don Healy, a veteran City Pulse cameraman, passed away suddenly yesterday morning. Don was only 36. Don was a treasured colleague to us all, and to many of us, a very close friend. An extremely talented man with the world ahead of him, Don began his career with us 15 years ago. He took his curiosity, love of people, and dedication to the streets to tell the stories of our city. Don leaves behind his wife, Nicole, 4-year-old son, Emmett, and daughter, Maeve, who's just 2, as well as loving parents, and a brother, and a large extended family. Nicole wants us all to know this. She says, Don was the most wonderful person I have ever met. He always thought the best of people, was kind, full of integrity, and loved his family beyond measure. He was my best friend and the love of my life. This world will be a much sadder place for the many people he touched so deeply. But I know Don would want everyone to remember him with a smile, and in his honor, love their kids and enjoy their own lives just a little bit more. Don's generous character and good nature will be sadly missed by everybody who had the privilege to know him or work with him.
Don has many friends among the media in Toronto and touched many of your hearts as well in the course of doing his job. We're dedicating tonight's edition of City Pulse in his memory. Good night.
Good night.
When we come back, we'll have my hero for the week, one of the finest individuals I've ever met. Oh. My choice of hero this week is a very personal one, Don Healy, one of the cameramen here at City TV, not somebody who was in the public eye, but maybe best described as someone who was the public eye. It was through his lens that many of us saw glimpses of the world, such as this wonderful footage he shot during a canoeing trip on the Black River a few years ago when we got caught in an unexpected snowstorm. The discomfort levels were pretty high, but Don's eye never lost the glint of excitement. He loved it out there. Don was struck down out of the blue last week, and the doctors haven't figured out how or why. He was only 36. At his funeral, his wife, Nicole, said she still considered herself the luckiest woman alive because she had him for 10 years. I wish I could be so noble. I know you're not supposed to be angry with fate or God, but I am angry over this one. The measure of a person is perhaps how many people feel grief at his or her departure, in which case Don Healy can only be described as having managed to become, in his short time, a great man.
No city roots tonight. Just a goodbye to a colleague and a friend who passed away last week. If you were on the QEW Monday morning, you may have noticed a long line of City Pulse trucks making their way westward. If you check out the back of one of our vehicles right now, you may see a black circle with the N25 insignia in the middle of it all. It stands for News 25, Don Healy. Don was one of the people who shot stories for us here at City, and last week he died at the end of a shift. All the people who do our camera work in the field have put Don's truck number on the back of their vehicles. I don't have a spot to put that sticker, so these words are going to have to do. There are lots of ways to describe Don. He was decent, compassionate, calm, talented. The list is long, but unfortunately his life, it wasn't. Don was just 36. When you're a television reporter, you get to meet a lot of different people, and sometimes you go to some pretty interesting places, but you're never alone. Every day you're assigned a camera, and that person drives you to where you're going and works with you to tell a story. In the rush to meet a deadline or get to Scarborough or back or Jocelyn and Scrum, it's easy to look back in your day and define it by what goes to air. But in reality, the real story is the time you spend with your camera. In the hurry and wait world of news, you've got lots of time to talk to the person who's sitting next to you. You don't always know how precious those conversations are. With Don, You'd talk about work, but somehow things would always evolve into talk about life, about family, children, travel, dreams, life. Simple things, important things. Everything about Don always seemed gentle, and if it wasn't, it'd still be his smile. It's been a tough, tough week for us here in the newsroom, and our hearts ache even more when we think about his family, especially his wife, Nicole, and his 2 kids, Emmett, 4, and Maeve, 2. You should know that from the second that he got in his truck, and through every hour and minute he was working with us here, he was always heading home to you. We here at the station may have been along for the ride, but it was you who sustained his gentle heart, and you were the source of that wonderful smile that we're all going to miss so much. Our prayer and our love goes out to you tonight. Good night. Thanks for watching Our Town.